go. Used to bring the love to me through the ice and snow. I saddled on a washer, singing through the night. 90 tons of thunder, lighting up the sky. She was the princess of the night. You saw the riding on the wall. She was the princess of the night. I take a ride across the sky.
Okay, so hello to all our audience of Metal Zone Radio Show. We have the huge pleasure, you know him. This is Nigel from SAXON. So we are at the Zénith for the first date of the tree. Yeah. First of all, thank you for giving us this moment just before the show. How are you feeling a few hours before going on stage at the Zénith in Nantes?
Looking forward to dinner. So we've just done the sound check and everything, so now we have the dinner, then we relax for a little while. Sometimes I go and have a power nap on the bus, just chill out for half an hour.
And do you still get that positive stage fright before shows?
Definitely. Oh, yeah. I think part of it is the adrenaline build up. But yeah, I'm walking around with sticks, or I take an hour to get my clothes on, which is like nothing really, but it's I still get nervous. I think anyone that says they don't get nervous is lying or an idiot, because I just always want to give my best.
We're going to talk a little bit of the new album. The band announced that the next album would be more groove-oriented while remaining very heavy. How do you personally approach the drums on these records?
I don't know. I just try. We all write everything, and we demo everything, and we try everything. I always play in the studio. I always play to a click track. Always. That's for me. That's my choice. When we're sort of writing or routining the songs, then we try different tempos to see which sits in the groove right. Even the fast songs have to groove. Even the fast songs. So there's some fast stuff. But it's all got a groove.
Brian is now accompanies you on stage. How does his playing influence the band's dynamics, particularly on maybe the classics?
No, I mean he puts his own little slant on some of the tracks, whether it's a solo. But no, he's fitting in. It's almost like before, almost, so he's just slotted straight in.
No differences.
No, I mean, obviously he has a different style of lead playing to Paul.
Nigel, I want to know more personal questions now. That's interested me a lot, but don't worry. It's personal, but it's, what advice would the Nigel of 2026 give to the Nigel of 1981?
Yeah, I mean, there's some things, when you're younger and maybe a little more naive with the industry, that you maybe made the wrong decisions at certain times. So, I can't think of anything specific, but there would be certain things. Obviously, the older you get, the more mature you get and the more knowledge you have. That would be the only thing.
The moment you realized that music would be your life and not just a hobby.
That was difficult, right? Because initially, I started playing drums when I was 7 or 8 years old. But then when I was about 14, I wanted to be an animal doctor, a vet. But at that time, you needed Latin. And I went, forget it.
Not for me.
No, forget it. Oh, God. That was one of my worst subjects at school, No, it just kind of happened, really, I was always playing in bands, local bands and stuff, and when I left school and went to work for my parents, I was still sort of leaving work, driving 4 hours, doing a show, driving back 4 hours, sleeping on the office floor for 3 hours, and then going to work again. So it was I think it was this case when someone said, well, do you want to do this professionally? I was like, yeah, great, because I haven't got to sleep on the office floor now,
And here you are.
Yeah, and here I am.
When you were young, in your family, was there music at home? I don't know if you've got brothers and sisters or your parents. Tell us more about.
Yeah, no, it was my mother was very musical. She didn't play anything, but she really loved music and everything. And I had an 11-year-old brother. He was older by 11 years than me, and he played played a bit of guitar. I think it was to impress the girls on the beach, which they all did in those days, when they were teenagers sitting there with acoustic guitars. Yeah. And so he showed me my first 3 chords on a guitar, how to play. But no, and my father, actually, the strange thing with my dad was that he wasn't particularly musical, but you'll never guess what his favourite song was, because I'm a bit of a prog head music-wise. I love progressive music. His favourite song, and he used to keep saying to me, please put that on again, was Hocus Pocus by Focus. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's a strange choice, but he loved that song.
Is there a sound that marked you as a child?
Oh, God. I mean, I was listening to everything then, back in, I was, soaking everything up. I was listening to the Yardbirds and the Small Faces and the Beatles, of course. And so I was just constantly listening to music. I remember the first bit of music, I think the first bit of pop music I ever heard was my brother played me Bill Haley, I think it was. Yeah, Rock Around the Clock. That was the first thing I think I heard, because he had the record, you see, because he was 11 years older than me. Or Elvis Presley, something like that, yeah.
The question you wish someone had asked you 30 years ago.
Would you like a free Lamborghini?
Things you never dare to tell your parents.
Smoking. When I started smoking, I was always trying to hide it, but I've stopped now. But yeah, it was always, out the window, like, with a towel. And yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think they knew. Yeah. There was the one story I have, they went away when I was still living at home, and I decided with some friends, I thought, let's have a party. And we did everything. I moved every ornament, everything, all the furniture went everywhere. So we opened the whole bottom up and marked where everything should go back. Exactly. And my parents came back from holiday and they said, did you have a good party? And I went, what? And there was one cigarette burn on the carpet under a bit of furniture, and they found it. And I was like, damn, I've been found out.
Okay, Nigel, so you're playing music for many years now with SAXON for 1981, I think.
81, yeah.
Yeah, 81. So what do you think of the evolution of music? Because social networks out there for many years now change a lot of things for bands, but not only. What is your opinion, because you crossed so many decades into music?
Yeah, I think I always remember, back in the sort of the 70s and stuff, you got signed to a record company maybe for 4 albums, and they nurtured you. You want to say nurtured? You had an A&R guy, and they would come to the studio where you were writing and listen, and come to the studio where you're recording. And I don't think so, I may be wrong, but I don't think so much of that happens now. And it's almost like, we'll sign this band. If they don't sell, it's a tax loss. That I think. So I think it's a bit less personal.
It's more difficult for bands nowadays to.
Yeah, but there's so much stuff as well. I mean, the social media thing has been good in some ways, because it gets people listening to. It gets you out to more ears, yeah. But at the same time, there's more people doing it, and I think, as I say, it's just less personal. I mean, I was in a band that was signed, a new wave band that was signed to CBS, called Bruce Willie and the Camera Club, and they were, he was like he was 1/3 of what became the Buggles, although he wasn't in the Buggles, yeah. So it was Jeff Downes and Trevor Horn. There were 3 of them originally. Video killed the radio star. Anyway, we were signed to CBS, and we had a guy there who was our A&R guy. And we just call in, Carl, what are you doing? He said, come in, and we go in there, and then he'd say, let's go and have some lunch at the pub and talk about producers or whatever. And I said, I don't know whether that goes on anymore.
Nigel, we are in France. Certainly, you confirm, Jean-Marc? Yeah, we are.
Unless we cross the wrong border, I don't know, but yeah.
What do you like the most about the French people and the French culture?
Cheese. Oh yeah, wine. Yeah, of course. And I think you probably make the best apple pie anywhere as well. So, and cognac, of course, and champagne. So
a good party.
Exactly. I mean, I remember a friend of mine. He had some cognac. It had chocolate in, and it was fantastic. And you could only buy it you could only buy it from one place here in France. It was fantastic, because I'm a chocoholic too. I love chocolate.
Perfect mix for you.
Perfect. Brandy and chocolate, yeah.
Okay, Nigel, so we're going to conclude this interview. The message you want to convey.
I say this in every interview. I always say, we really appreciate the fans. Without the fans, I wouldn't have a career. So, to me, you guys are the most important things, and thank you. We really appreciate your support, all of you.
Nigel, thank you for your time, thank you for your kindness. Wish you a lot of good things in the future, of course. Take care of you, have fun. I'm sure you have fun with Saxon. Thank you, Nigel.
Very well.
Thank you very much.